Hey, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rachak Kudash. Double honors unto the elders of Apostle Great Millstone. The elders of Great Millstone, intercourse. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect. The sincere servants of Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai. Serving him in truth and sincerity. Yes, on the brother Chayaba from GMS Plaintables camp. Coming back with another lesson due spirit. Yeah, this lesson will be based off of course, well, right now as I'm making this video, it's a few hours after Thanksgiving, but point is that it just passed, the celebration of Thanksgiving, which what the majority of America keeps. Even down onto and what I mean, again, the history of Thanksgiving is nothing, the true history is nothing, at the end of the day, everybody knows about it. Everybody knows that what they taught us in school is a lie. And really what Thanksgiving has a dark history to it. Yeah, it's still celebrated, of course, in America. Showing you what the ones who are at power, which of course are the ones who colonized the so-called Native Americans and Latinos. Well, of course, they slaughtered us first and foremost, put us into slavery. And we've been in a downtrodden state since then. But to read this article, this from D-Lish. The article is entitled The Dark Truth Behind the Origins of Thanksgiving. Yeah. It says, okay, so skipping down, it says, okay, so what's the real story behind Thanksgiving? And again, yes, it's nothing new, but this article has even more information to bring out. It says, you probably have some vague idea that the Thanksgiving holiday is not not quite the rosy picture you read about in school, but the real origins of the holiday are not clear-cut either. It says, we'll give you the best glimpse at what we know, but note, there's a lot of information to digest about this issue. And a few supposed origins of the holiday, some of them conflicting. It says, this is the most commonly researched and reported story. So it says, according to the New York Times, the Mayflower did in fact bring settlers from England to the land which they colonized and named Plymouth, Massachusetts. It says in 1621, those pilgrims did hold a 3-day feast. It says, which was attended by members of the Wampanoag tribe. It says, however, typically when these settlers had what they referred to as Thanksgiving observances, they actually fasted. So this feast and celebration was known as a rejoicing, according to the New Yorker. With that in mind, this meal actually being viewed as the first Thanksgiving is up for debate with experts. Keep on reading. It says, though there might have been turkey or some other type of poultry served, there was no pie or mashed potatoes as we have today. They would have probably had seafood as well as a Wampanoag dish called, it says, nasump, a porridge made of cornmeal which the settlers had adopted. So it says, as the Smithsonian points out, discussions of this event are often centered around the settlers, but Native Americans had been on the land for centuries before. And the story, from their perspective, obviously far predates this feast. When Europeans began began coming to what is now known as the United States about 4 years before the Mayflower arrived, they carried foreign illnesses which killed native people at exceedingly high rates. That then made it easier for colonizers to take over these lands. So there's also the fact that settlers came to their land to kidnap and sell Native Americans into slavery. See, so, nobody talks about this. Because, of course, we know, the Native Americans also to be a part of the nation of Israel, a part of the northern kingdom of the nation of Israel. Of course, you have the southern kingdom of the nation of Israel, which consists of 3 tribes, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Then you have the northern kingdom, which consists, of course, the rest of the tribes, which consists of the so-called Native Americans, Latinos, which they came over here, of course, to these lands, to the Americas, what is now known as North America and South America, but they came to these lands, to escape the Assyrian captivity, as it says in 2 Ezra chapter 13 and 40. And our people have been dwelling here ever since. It says, the newly settled Europeans also did not invite the Native Americans to their feast. It says, Osamakin, leader of the Wampanoag tribe, had declared an alliance with the settlers, and members of the tribe were showing up to honor a mutual defense pact. They had heard the pilgrims shooting their guns in celebration and thought they were in combat. After some talk, they decided to spend 3 days together and join the feast. But this type of coming together did not become a warm, fuzzy tradition, as it may have been taught in school. It says, from then on, pilgrims celebrated Thanksgiving in their traditional way of fasting and praying, according to the New Yorker. Several times this happened because of the massacres of the native people, including in 1637 when Massachusetts colony governor John Winthrop declared a day of Thanksgiving after volunteers murdered 700 Pequot people. This incident is also often cited as the first official mention of a Thanksgiving ceremony. And another commonly cited origin story for the Thanksgiving we know today. See? So, so we know how obviously the Europeans who came here, the Edomites, according to the scriptures, that's Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He is Esau. But Esau Edom is Jacob's main enemy, Israel's main enemy. And of course, Yahweh Shai, because of course when the nation of Israel is doing right, then we won't be raided and overtaken by our enemies, by the heathen. But once we start going off as a people, the Lord sends the heathen against us, and we're overtaken. So, of course, the Native Americans got overtaken for a reason. It's because, of course, they were here being disobedient, not serving Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, not serving the Lord. They're, of course, serving, they're worshiping, false gods. So the Lord sent Esau upon us, Christopher Colon Cristobal Colon, as known as Christopher Columbus, and of course the rest of the conquistadors. And of course, 1619? Well, you already know we had the slavery of the Southern Kingdom happen, so the so-called Negroes. But Esau will still pay for all the destruction and damage that he has done unto the Lord's people. The scriptures say, woe unto him how's it go? I mean, what, pretty much the Lord can use you to put destruction on somebody, but guess what? You're still gonna pay because you're putting destruction on them, especially to the Lord's people. Or if you're doing it to the Lord's people, yeah, the Lord might be using you to do that, but guess what? You're gonna pay as well because you're going off and hurting the Lord's people, man. Because as we know, the Israelites are the true people, or are the chosen people out of all nations, the nation of Israel. So yeah, this is a Thanksgiving. It says various states of the modern day Thanksgiving holiday have been declared since then and were celebrated by individual states. But it wasn't until 1863 when President Abraham Lincoln declared the last Thursday in November as a day of Thanksgiving. And the holiday, as we know, is stuck. Yeah, skip it down. It says, so it says Thanksgiving Day is a reminder of the genocide of millions of Native Americans, the theft of Native lands, and the relentless assault on Native culture, says the United American Indians of New England. They marked the occasion as a day of mourning for 48 years, according to the Native Hope. It says participants in National Day of Mourning honor Native ancestors and the struggles of Native peoples to survive today. It is a day of remembrance and spiritual connection, as well as a protest of the racism and oppression which Native Americans continue to experience. Yeah, so all Israelites were still continuing to experience that racism and oppression, which of course that's just how it is. Why? Because we are the Israelites, and it's not going to stop until Yahushua comes back to take down the Edomites, to take down our enemies, the Messiah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, and who the world ignorantly thinks that he's coming back for all people. No, Yahushua is only coming back for his people, which are the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Native Americans, Latinos. So the Lord's coming back to deliver us from our enemies. And to deliver us, of course, from the upcoming nuclear destruction of America, as the scriptures prophesy, that America will be destroyed. Yeah, and there's a lot. This article, brings out some stuff, but hey, there's even more stuff that they did, man, within these times. So let's go ahead and look up real quick. Yeah, so it says the English also had a long tradition of Thanksgiving. They declared days of prayer to thank God when something good happened. Yeah, for them, something good happened for them. It says, for example, the English declared a day of Thanksgiving in the summer of 1623 when the gentle rain ended a long drought. It says, likewise, in the fall of 1621, when their laborers were rewarded with a bountiful harvest after a year's sickness and scarcity, the pilgrims gave thanks to God. Yeah, and they also gave thanks to God for slaughtering, or being able to take over and slaughter what they did in Native American people. That's also including in their Thanksgiving, because again they believe that the Most High is with them because they're able to do that against the Lord's people, which again They were able to do that because Yahweh Bashim Yoshai let them. Because as we know, we are being disobedient towards Yahweh Bashim Yoshai. That's why we're in this captivity right now currently. And that's why we have been overtaken by our enemies. To read this real quick, it says, Genesis chapter 49 and 19, it says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Yeah, of course, Gad within the scriptures, today, Gad links up onto the so-called North American Indians. Those are the Gadites. So it says, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Yeah. Yeah, so that troop are the Edomites, Esau, and we got overtaken by Esau. That's the troop overcoming us. It says, but he shall overcome at the last. Yeah, because eventually Gad is going to come out on top again, as well as other tribes. But of course, we're in this overcoming state. We're in the state where we're overtaken right now by Esau. So yeah, Gad are the so-called North American Indians. And real quick, this is Jeremiah chapter 10 and 1. It says, Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Yeah, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, including the so-called North American Indians. It says, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Yeah, so it says, learn not the way of the heathen. And Thanksgiving is the way of the heathen, man. Keeping Thanksgiving and reserving Thanksgiving, that's Esau's holiday. Us Israelites, we should not be celebrating the overtaking and the Thanksgiving to a deity for, Thanksgiving for being able to overtake the North American Indians, so-called, the Native Americans, the indigenous people. We should not be celebrating that, because again, that's a pagan holiday, and again, it's literally a holiday against our people, man. Because you have just people in the world asking you, of course, just foolish people in the world asking you, so hey, what are you gonna do for Thanksgiving, or have any plans for Thanksgiving? And of course, you got to be wise in the world. You don't just tell people, you can if you want, but it's best to be wise. I don't really have anything planned. I'm just gonna see what's gonna blah blah blah. Just say something and then get about your day, man. Meanwhile, I'm meditating every day. This day comes past. I'm meditating on the actual things that happen and Thanksgiving. What it really goes back onto, the history behind it. That's what I'm constantly thinking about. Of course, that's what all his brothers think about. So we don't keep no day of Thanksgiving, because again, we already know where it goes back to. It goes back to onto the overtaking of Gad. Yeah, and it says the AI, has it messed up. It says the programs gave Thanksgiving to the 1.0 ag people. This is no. They did not give thanks. Again, so this shows you AI can be misleading as well. But they're giving thanks unto their deities for being able to overtake the Israelites, the North American Indians, or of course the Israelites, but more specifically the Gad. Then didn't, of course, the Native Americans within America. So yeah, yeah. Of course, what Christmas is coming up too, and that's a pagan holiday which our people keep. The majority of our people keep, man. Thinking that it's a day of the Messiah's birthday, which is a complete lie. Yahushua was born in the springtime. He wasn't born in the drop-dead cold winter. That that right there is another pagan tradition, pagan belief. So yeah, it's funny, man. When because again, people might ask in the world, especially our people, and you might, because especially when you come into the truth, you're more, of course, you're overzealous, so you might get into the debate about, maybe, of course, to your family, they might ask you, oh, happy Thanksgiving, and you mention how this day, you might mention that you don't keep it because of the history behind it, and they shouldn't either, but they might make this excuse, oh well, we're just getting together for a family. Look at it, for the history, we're just getting together because it's a good family event, and we can get together. Well, we have, there's 364 more days in a year that you can get together with your family and have a feast or whatever. And really what we're supposed to be keeping, us Israelites, we're supposed to be keeping the high holy days that's written within the scriptures. The scriptures don't command us to keep a Thanksgiving onto the destruction of the Native Americans. No, the scriptures don't say that. So that's a pagan holiday, yet our people still choose to keep it. And everybody knows about the history of Thanksgiving. Yeah, our people, they still keep it. It's just showing you how dumb our people are, man. The majority of our people. Saud's children. So yeah. So yeah, we already know how there's a judgment written. Everything that Esau has done unto us, guess what? It's going to be rewarded back unto them. Everything that Esau has done onto all the Israelites. Because again, there's so much more history, man. There's so much more that Esau has done unto our people. I'm just getting a portion of what they done unto the so-called Native Americans. It says Obadiah chapter 1 and 8, it says, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mountain of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Yeah, and the violence against Jacob. And we can look at all his history again, because Jacob, of course, is interchangeable with Israel. When the scriptures say Jacob it's referring on to Israel. So the violence that Esau has committed against Israel, man, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, it says, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Yeah, and when you get down to 18, verse 18, it says how Jacob or Esau will be kindled. And what? Esau will be burned up for good. It says real quick, in the house of Jacob should be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, in the house of Esau for a stubble. It says, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there it says, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh has spoken it. Yeah, so there's not going to be any more remaining. Once we're in the kingdom, of course, we have the new perfect bodies. The scriptures say how the Lord will make a new covenant. That's going to be the second covenant with the nation of Israel, which the new covenant is going to be us having the law, statutes, commandments written within our hearts, within our minds, meaning it's going to be hardwired into us, so we're never going to sin again. And we're going to have those new perfect bodies, those incorruptible bodies, which is why we're going to have spiritual power. We're going to be invincible. We're going to have supernatural abilities, and this is going to be on a whole nother level, man. Even greater than what these movies depict, superhero comics or whatever. What we're going to have is going to be on a whole another level, man, for the Israelites only. It says, Isaiah chapter 14:1, for the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. Yeah, because the Lord had mercy on Jacob, because again, we're in our captivity right now still. We're waiting for Yahweh to deliver us. For us, for us brothers, our sincere brothers and sisters and few sisters out there who have come back onto Yahweh Shemel, we're repenting. Of course, we're repenting, we put off the old ways. And we came back of repenting in a sorrowful state onto Yahweh Shemel for forgiveness. And that's how the elect are going to come. That's what we hope to be a part of. We're the hopeful elect. But the elect of the nation of Israel, they're going to come, they're going to repent and serve Yahweh Shemel, put out the old wicked ways. It says, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Yeah, the strangers being the Israelite foreigners who have been scattered amongst these other nations, pursuing to Deuteronomy chapter 28:64. So it says Isaiah chapter 14:2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh for servants, and it says, and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. See, so and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. See? So whoever put us in captivity, they're going to be captives under us as well. And they shall rule over their oppressors. So whoever oppresses us, we're going to oppress them as well. Once Yahushua comes back, he's going to come back to take down these heathen. Also, of course, first and foremost, to deliver his people and to take down the heathen and to set up his righteous rulership. Which he's going to ordain the Israelites to run the kingdom, of course, under his command. We're going to be ruling over these other nations. Of course, we're going to be kings under Yahweh Shemel Shai. So we're going to be princes under Yahweh Shemel Shai, but we're going to be kings over the other nations. So we're going to be ruling over our oppressors. So it says, and it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, from thy fear, from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. Yeah, because us Israelites, we were put into slavery, man. And we're still in slavery unto this day. And not only the so-called Negroes in the Southern Kingdom were put into slavery, also the Native Americans, the so-called Native Americans, Latinos, were put into slavery as well. So, hey, our people, all of us went through the same thing, man, at the end of the day. Guess what? Esau will be rewarded and paid back on a whole nother level, man. This, Revelation chapter 13 and 10, he that leadeth into captivity should go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. Yeah, so there you have it. So he that leadeth into captivity should go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. So the saints, which of course what all saint means is sanctified, holy, which means set apart. The saints are set apart from the world. Meaning they're not immersed within the worldly traditions and, of course, the worldly ordinances. The saints are going to be, first and foremost, the saints are the Israelites. But with the saints, of course, what's starting, of course, with the elect of the nation of Israel, our patience and faith is waiting for our enemies to be captives under us, for us to be taken out of captivity, and for the heathen to be, of course, in captivity under us. That's what we're waiting for. And a war will pass. This is what the scripture says is going to happen, man. So what we're patiently waiting for Yahushua to come back. As it says in Revelation chapter 2 and 25, or 26 on down, but of course, Yahushua is going to give us the rod of iron to rule over these other nations. So no, we're not supposed to be keeping no day of Thanksgiving. And if you do, you're a complete fool, because you're literally celebrating the Thanksgiving to what? The pilgrims are giving Thanksgiving unto their whoever they worship, their own God. Thanking, for being able to overtake the Native Americans. That's really what this day goes back onto. So, of course, us brothers within the truth, because does the world, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, man. But of course, it's about the elect, man. It's about what the elect are doing. The elect of the nation of Israel. So what the elect, they're gonna hear, they're gonna hearken unto these words. They're gonna put out the wicked ways and the pagan customs, and they're gonna come back unto Yahweh Shai, which as brothers we hope to be a part of. We're the hopeful elect, and when of course we put on as the elect. So Lord's will, you brothers that they're edified. Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakurash, Brakathum, Shalom.